Quest for You is on. Thank you for joining. I'm Janine. Here you are, and I welcome you. It is episode 187 of my little podcast that is here to help you motivate for the day ahead, the week, the months, and maybe prompt you to make a few changes in your life that you've been waiting to make. You just needed a little bit of a push. I'm happy to be that push for you. Episode 187. In the most recent episodes, we covered quite a bit of dense content, social science, theories that have been studied, and many books have been written about them. So today I decided, let's take a break from all that theory and start with a tale. There's an old Cherokee legend known as the Tale of the Two Wolves. An old grandfather said to his grandson, who came to him with anger at a friend who had done him injustice, "Let me tell you a story. I too, at times, have felt a great hate for those that have taken so much, with no sorrow for what they do. But hate wears you down and does not hurt your enemy. It's like taking poison and wishing your enemy would die. I've struggled with these feelings many times," he continued. "It is as if there were two wolves inside me. One is good and does no harm. He lives in harmony with all around him and does not take offense when no offense was intended. He will only fight when it is right to do so and in the right way. But the other wolf, he's full of anger. The littlest thing will set him off into a fit of temper. He fights everyone all the time for no reason. He cannot think because his anger and hate are so great. It is helpless anger, for his anger will change nothing. Sometimes it is hard to live with these two wolves inside me, for both of them try to dominate my spirit." The boy looked intently into his grandfather's eyes and asked, "Which one wins, grandfather?" The grandfather smiled and quietly said, "The one I feed." In a lot of ways, this tale represents the quest for you. It portrays that we always have two options, in simple terms, good or bad. And the more frequently we choose the good, the more it will grow. This is a very black and white way to express our quest. But old tales have a tendency to show us two extremes, so we can understand the lesson better. The moments in our life we do truly good and really evil are probably rare. Most of us are somewhere in between. But those are our actions. We can control them pretty well most of the time. But what about our thoughts? If we take the tale a little further, it shows us the source of good and evil is our thoughts that live within us. Both the conscious and the unconscious thoughts. Our unconscious thoughts are the unresolved or repressed parts of ourselves. Many of them stem from our early experiences that we cannot remember and have tucked away. Others come from later experiences that have left a mark on us, but we may not be able to consciously explain them. We may have made judgments about them in the moment they occurred, and today the results of such judgments determine our thoughts. Some of these thoughts may not even make sense, but they are ingrained in the unconscious, so when they come out, you may not even notice it. The conscious mind is more analytical and task-oriented, whereas the subconscious mind is said to be irrational. It comes from a place of self-protection. It wants to avoid the negative experiences from the past. We have pushed the negative events out of our conscious so we can avoid the pain of remembering them. But the subconscious remembers them, so it can steer us away from the future events that might have similar consequences. And that is why our default reaction is often a negative one. They touch on a painful experience in the subconscious. It is also often the quickest response because it's the one we don't have to think about. It has been ingrained in us for a long time, so it comes natural to us. The tale then highlights three central issues. 1. If we are unconscious for a large portion of our thoughts, we will not take notice when they run us. 2. Since most of these unconscious thoughts are rather negative, we are by default feeding the evil wolf. And 3. With our behaviors governed by the subconscious mind, we are often powerless when it comes to our reactions we show in certain circumstances. Now I know this paints a pretty gloomy picture, but let's get back to our tale. It ends with a clear action plan. The one you feed wins. And since Quest for You is all about taking action and becoming better, I want to focus on just that. So let's get back to the 3 central learning points from the tale and figure out what we can do so we can ensure the good wolf wins every time. 1. If we are unconscious of a large portion of our thoughts, we will not take notice when they run us. Most of the 50 to 60,000 thoughts going on in our mind every day are simply not conscious. They are there, playing in the background, and we follow the tune. Think of aspects of your life that you wish you could change but haven't been able to influence. Maybe your diet, for example. Every day, you consciously may decide to eat well and less. Yet every evening, you go to bed wondering what led you to eating that pint of ice cream after dinner. You had not planned on it in the morning. You didn't even remember you had it in the fridge. But something happened at night that helped you think of it and eat it. Who are you in traffic when someone cuts you off? Or when you find out someone lied to you? When you find yourself looking back, wondering why you reacted in a certain way, then those are the moments to remember that a large portion of what goes on in our minds is subconscious. So, my recommendation is this. Take a more active role in the forming of your thoughts. There isn't much we can do about our past and the thoughts that ingrained themselves into our unconscious many years ago. But there's much we can do about today and the thoughts that we want to hold as of now. Choose to add good thoughts to your unconscious. Find beauty in yourself, in your friends, and in the life around you. Find aspects of your life that make you happy. Actively notice the little things that give you joy, even if it's only 4 seconds, like the bird chirping outside your window. This way, I believe over time, the positive reservoir in your mind fills up, pushing the negative out. Observe your behaviors to learn more about your thoughts. Since behaviors are an expression of our thoughts, we may be able to work backwards and find out more about our unconscious by looking at our actions. Analyze your habits and tendencies, and they may reveal more about your subconscious thoughts. 2. Since most of these unconscious thoughts are rather negative, we are by default feeding the evil wolf. What are your beliefs? Do you want to make a lot of money while at the same time you think money is at the root of all evil? Are you desperately looking for a partner even though you really prefer to be alone? Sometimes we sabotage our own success because at an unconscious level, it serves us not to achieve our goals. Without being aware, we give power to the things that weaken us most. The low self-esteem is just a result of repeated thoughts of not feeling good enough, pretty enough, and simply not enough. Look to your external world to see if life is expressing your beliefs or opposing them. Do your thoughts create fulfillment and enrich your life, or do they keep you hostage? Learn to wake up the inner dialogue. Consciously acknowledge your thoughts. You can do this by becoming more sensitive to your feelings. Feelings often accompany certain thoughts. Anxiousness, sadness, feeling down. When you notice these feelings, use them as a wake-up call to change your thoughts. Make conscious decisions about your thoughts. I sometimes consciously wake up to the fact that I'm thinking and stir my thoughts into a different direction. Just like when a friend tells you that he doesn't want to talk about a certain subject, you can do the same with your thoughts. When you do become conscious of them, tell them goodbye and pick different ones. Feeding the good wolf is an active step, not a passive one. That means you have to make an effort. To offset negative thoughts, you need to feed yourself empowering thoughts. And notice that we're not trying to get rid of negative thoughts. We embrace them and we slowly replace them. It's a choice. Feed harmony and joy, or fuel the flame of negativity. 3. With our behaviors governed by the subconscious mind, we are often powerless when it comes to our reactions we show in certain circumstances. I read this quote by Frank Outlaw. Watch your thoughts, they become words. Watch your words, they become deeds. Watch your deeds, they become habits. Watch your habits, they become character. Character is everything. Step 2 will lead to step 3. Empowering thoughts that are filled with light will lead to actions that bring you happiness and joy. Disempowering thoughts that are filled with darkness will lead to actions that bring resentment and anger. So I encourage you, start today by taking a more active role and feed the good wolf more often. When we become more mindful of our thoughts instead of numbing them or pushing them away, when we witness them with openness and tenderness instead of with binding judgment and criticism, when we accept ourselves with all our traumas, negative experiences, and limitations, then I believe we will slowly begin to wake up. We will question the usefulness of our beliefs in helping us to create a fulfilled life. And we will give up the being a victim to our unconscious desires and make a more conscious effort to live the life we want to live. Much love. Until next time.